Okay. I want to talk about.
Let's talk about football.
Okay, sure.
So, so I'm a big Kansas City Chiefs fan, and right now they are 4-0, and I'm originally from the Kansas City area, suburban Kansas City, about 30 minutes away, and so my hometown is actually where the Kansas City Chiefs training camp is located. And so it's very interesting because my family, several of them, have had the pleasure of meeting and interacting with Patrick Mahomes, who is this phenomenal quarterback. He's America's quarterback, right? And so to see the pictures and images with my family and Patrick Mahomes together, it's like it's as though he was like sitting at the same dining room table with us and having a dinner with us and interacting and playing with the kids. And so I have always been a Kansas City Chiefs fan and a Kansas City Royals fan for baseball. But to see this young man at age 25 and already successful, getting ready to get married, has a child on the way, and all of this. And he's so generous with himself and his finances, and he's super intelligent uh, and does a lot for the people of Kansas City and the surrounding area. You can't help but to really like this individual. And so every time I get a chance to see him play football, I'm going to be watching. And so like I said, I love the Chiefs, the football team. I love how they are coached. Andy Reid is their coach. He's a very upstanding coach, and the players, for the most part, are doing quite well. But you know, it's quite a franchise. It's one of those family-owned franchises where when Kansas City went to the Super Bowl last year, everybody that worked for the Kansas City Chiefs got front row seats, tickets paid for, uh, flight paid for, food paid for, hotel paid for, and the Hunt family took care of everybody that worked in that franchise. And that's pretty doggone impressive to me. And so I think that helps me like the Chiefs even more.
Interesting. Curious. Is there another team, just the Kansas Chiefs that you're a fan of?
I'm a diehard Chiefs fan, but I'm also a Packers fan, Green Bay Packers. So it goes back and forth between the two of them, Kansas City being number one, Green Bay's number two. Um, I'm trying to take a liking of the Minnesota Vikings, but that's a good team. The Vikings are a good team, but I think they can be better. So those three teams for sure. So, and yourself?
I mean, I am so. My husband, he is hardcore Packer fans.
Oh,
Um,
so he probably
Different.
right the other day with Kansas City beating up on New England. It was 26-10. Yeah. Yeah.
My husband, he's always doesn't tell me nothing. In the news in the morning, I saw and I said, "Why didn't you tell me?" Because, it upset me, he said. So it's fine.
But he agrees that Patrick Mahomes is quite the quarterback, right?
He he's with what- so
Oh. And that's a good choice, by the way. That was a good choice.
I really enjoy and I really enjoy watching the last quarter, how the teams are competing and which one is going. So football, I want to learn, and I still don't understand it. The names, the players, the team. It's too much information for me to be holding it in.
I get that. I can understand that. I can understand that. But we're going through this pandemic, and the teams are doing their best to play under these circumstances, and it's it's hard for them. It's hard for them. I know Cam Newton from the Patriots has COVID-19. He tested positive for the virus. And so that's why he couldn't play in the game this past week against Kansas City. And then Kansas City had to change the date of the actual game because of all of that was going on. So that can be very confusing and disheartening for teams who are actively engaged in playing sports during the pandemic.
Yeah, you're right. But if the same would both was the basketball team, they're just it's like there's still, but it's not like football. It's too many players and too many people involved, which it's just one team. It's really hard for them to, they stay like they're spread out easily. I don't know. Whatever.
With Patrick Mahomes, what he did, I mean, this young man at age 25 is worth over $1 billion already financially. But what he did is he has taken some of his money and he's combined some of his money with the Kansas City Chiefs organization to make sure that anyone in Kansas City had an opportunity to be hosted at Arrowhead Stadium so that they can vote. He's paying for that space so that people can come and vote safely. I think that's very impressive.
That's cool. I never didn't knew about that about him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, paying for everything. That's very cool.
Wow, we need more people like that, like Patrick.
And he's marrying his childhood sweetheart from high school sweetheart. So they're getting married, and so I just think they are doing some really good things. He comes from a very good family.
Wow, that's touching. I feel wow, all this goosebumps on me. I don't know. Sometimes, you know, people just want to waste their money. They're hungry for the money. They want to spend it on themselves. their attitude, is just, I don't know, it's just like their ego is just takes over, and to have a good heart like Patrick, that wants to give and support, give it back to the community, that's really touching right there.
Yeah, it is. It really is. What other sports do you like?
I and I will sit on the floor. I mean, I will watch some sports. I wouldn't really much basketball. I mean, baseball. There's other different stuff like other exercise and I to watch. But my favorite thing to watch was basketball. I want to say basketball and baseball, those two are, a good sport I watch.
Okay, that's cool. Those are great sports. I know my dad was a big Atlanta Braves fan, even though the Kansas City Royals was like right down the road. My dad was always watching the Atlanta Braves baseball on TV.
I really watch, some baseball games, every at the restaurants. I didn't know what to do. So I hope, I can go in the stadium, actually watch it in person. I don't want to watch it on the TV. I want to go inside the stadium, watch it, drink beer, the food, enjoy it.
That's a lot of fun, And here's a bit of trivia about the Minnesota Twins. So Patrick Mahomes, his dad, also named Patrick Mahomes, number one, um, played for the Minnesota Twins baseball.
Wow, I didn't know that either. They still playing
No,
or
he's retired now.
when was the last time he played?
Gosh, it's been quite a number of years because Patrick Mahomes, number two, was a toddler in Minnesota when his dad played baseball here. So it's got to be quite a number of years ago,
So
obviously.
it was, wow, so okay, yeah. 20 years ago, maybe.
At least, at least.
Wow. Yeah, that's really impressive.
Yeah, just a little trivia. I thought when you said Minnesota, I thought, okay, uh, Minnesota Twins fan. So here's some trivia you might want to know. And yeah. So you live down in the cities, that area then?
No, I live in the South Minnesota in the Deaf Institute.
Okay.
I mean, I went to college and I grew up there. Then I went to college and I came back, I moved back.
Mankato State uh, student. That's great. That's awesome. I know I've been to Faribault a number of.
No, I went for college.
I see. My bad. I misunderstood.
No, it's fine. Don't even worry. I was born and raised over there in Minnesota. And then I went to DC. And then I lived in DC. I went back.
So did you go to Gallaudet University?
Yes. Yes.
That's great. It's a great school. It's a great school.
Mm-hmm.